The intro.
Okay, we are doing our second image of a one-point perspective. You draw your horizon line with your vanishing point. There's my vanishing point. There's my horizon line. And the sidewalk here on this side, and this is from this image that's on the computer. You have to use one car, and I will probably put that one car there. Straight up and down for the sides. Notice that the majority of your buildings, and then we have a truck parked there, so I don't know. The majority of your buildings you don't see the top of. They are right off the vanishing point. Now with this one, you can take a lot of liberties. What do I mean by that? Well, you still have to put in the curve. But do you have to draw everything there? Heavens no. We don't have that much life left. None of us. Not just me, but everybody. Okay, so we're just drawing a suggestion of these buildings. On this side, we're going to draw again from the vanishing point to the end of the paper. And just about here is where Broad Street crosses. So this is High Street. And these are the bottoms of those buildings. And they are right next to each other. So, and they all go off the page. And that's okay, because some of you have trouble with the idea that the windows and doors go to the vanishing point. And that was your problem before. Some of you could get the buildings right, but then you wouldn't get the buildings going to the vanishing point right. So here is, in this building on this one, we see its window. We're gonna tilt it up just a little bit because that front window is up just a little bit like this. It goes almost to the edge. Let me move the stapler. Not stapler, hole punch. And we're gonna bring the door down. It's a big door. Will it take you a while to do this? Yes, that's why we have 3 weeks to do it. I give you plenty of time, and I ask you to send me your drawings, and I will draw on them and help you that way, because I can't actually be in the room with you. I don't think we will be back within 3 weeks, but we might, you never know. And then you can just bring the drawing to class. And this window is interesting. It's got lots of levels. One thing about artists is they notice details, so we're very handy at CSI stuff. We can find our way around a crime scene, I guess you'd say. Okay, so this is a window, and if it makes you happy, you can go ahead and spend a lot of time on this window. I don't know that I will, but if it makes you feel comfortable, then do it. Because I know sometimes you guys get rattled. So this ends about here, I think. And I think that's the entrance to the door. It actually goes back. We're not gonna make it all fancy. We're just gonna make it like this. So see how those windows appear to be getting wider? Now we know they're not. If we were standing right in front of it, they wouldn't, but we're not. We're off to one side and using perspective. So I'll put a door here. Okay, so this window is probably for displaying things. Right here and here. And we were noticing that you guys aren't all together using these videos. Now, I don't see why you wouldn't, but then again, I don't understand how your mind works, because this is where you can stop it, where you can't really do that with me in class. I mean, even I don't do that with me in class, and I'm going to darken this in. And that doorway right there is this doorway here. And then there is a window above it. Again, you must go from the vanishing point up. This is so much easier than life drawing or drawing portraits, where you have to get everybody's faces is different, and but with this, it's always the same. With people's faces, yeah, they all have noses and eyes and whatnot, but you have to individualize it and try and capture a likeness, and that's not easy. And then there it appears to be some sort of balcony here. So again, to the vanishing point, and it goes right off the page. So this is the bottom of the balcony, and here is the top of the balcony. And then we have the sides of the balcony. And then the side corner goes back like this. And we have various bricks there, and they're all going to go to the vanishing point. So I'm going to put some lines in there for the bricks coming down. Try and keep them semi-uniform. I know you can't keep them perfect. I'm not that anal compulsive about this thing. And then when it gets to the railing on the balcony, you can't see these anymore. So they do one out, one in, one out, one in, one out, one in, one out. And see how we have that pattern there? And then there's another edge right here, which I'm just going to sketch in. And because those are facing us, they're straight in, just like we did before. Now, one of the things about this kind of drawing perspective, it was an early psychologist named Piaget, and he studied how people think and how they learn. And if you begin to understand this, then you are moving your brain to a higher level of thinking. What does that mean? It means you're getting smarter. Oh, Miss Fleming, I don't know if I want to get smarter. Yeah, you do. And any reason to get smarter, you should do it. I need to make that better. You want to thicken this line because it seems to be some kind of roll-up cover on this window. I don't know if it's metal or it's fabric, but it rolls down like this. And this part is all rolled up right here. And I am going to make the bottom of this go in, whether it does or not, as long as you understand. And then this part goes to the vanishing point. Now I'll take care of that. If you want to do rails, they're straight down. You can take a lot more liberties with this because you can. This sidewalk seems to go more like this, so we're going to move this up. Move the curb up. You see what you can do? You can move a curb up. Can't do that. Whoops. Also helps if you lean into the ruler. See what happens to the line if you don't lean into the ruler? So I have to erase that. Am I going to leave this line here? Yeah, I am, because I'm going to put a car here. And it's... In order for that car to be on the sidewalk, in the street rather, I always start with the headlights because they're sort of like eyeballs on a person. And yeah, it can be cartoony. Nobody cares. Don't make it too cartoony. Okay, so that's the wheel. And this is the headlight. Headlights in some cars anymore look like stormtroopers from the first Star Wars. Okay, so here's our car. And if you like to draw cars, I mean, that's why I put it in here, so that those people who like to draw cars can draw a car. I remember boys in school who only wanted to draw cars. Okay, so there is our car. And I think I'll take this out. So there's that. And we're going to put a tree here because, as you can see, there's a tree here. So I'm going to put it in front of this building right here. So I'd like 2 to 3 trees. If you want to put in more, you can. but at least 2 to 3 trees. And I want you to notice how tall that tree is. It's all the way up here. See these squiggly lines? That's the tree's branches. Think of them as like little dancing lines. And since it has leaves on it, you have a lot of dancing lines. And this comes over all the way to this window. And this comes all the way over to almost the middle of that window. Trees are your friends. You don't have to draw so much with trees. Okay. And that's that little grid-like thing that protects and gives the tree water. I wonder if I doubt that they do it, but you know, kind of wish that they slant it a little bit so when it rains, the tree gets lots and lots and lots of water. Okay, here. Now, this could be this window here, and put a line here. And then this one seems to have it lined up with this right here, just a little taller. So again, you could sketch in where you want the lines and then draw them to the vanishing point. And we've looked, and not many of you are using these. So I'm going to ask you to check the videos. Now this building, its windows, yeah, they go straight up, just like any old window. But when they get to the top, they have an arch on them. So you're going to have to arch those windows with kind of free-handed, okay? So let me put one in. These buildings probably date from 1930s, 1920s. Back when they used to have a trolley system in Columbus. My neighborhood was the end of the trolley system. Ah, I made them too tall. So I'm going to make them smaller. Find your eraser.
Why did they get rid of the trolley system?
Why did they get rid of the trolley system? I don't know. They probably thought, well, everybody's going to have a car. But it was a big mistake. I mean, San Francisco hung on to its trolleys, and now they're part of their money-making things, you know? Mm-hmm. So, and that's one of the richest cities in the country. And it isn't just because of the trolleys, it's because that's where a lot of tech people live. So, it has this kind of, looks like everybody, so it looks like it's got a bobbed hair that goes around it. But anyway, those are the windows. And then they have the windows in here. Make sure they go to the vanishing point. Let me make that one there, there, there. Okay, and then you can lightly color those in with lines so that your viewer knows that they're glass. I doubt that, well, why did they tear down the original train station that was so beautiful and put up the convention center when they could have saved money by turning the old train station into a convention center and having both an historic place and a convention center? They're constantly short-sighted in government. Yeah. And somebody wants to make money. Yeah. Okay, what you want to do is measure and make sure the second set of windows are the same as the first set. And this is, as I said, a 3-week project. It's a big chunk of your grade. Does it have to be perfect? No. Do the windows and doors have to go to the vanishing point? Yes. But other than that, you're just supposed to make a pretty picture. And I think I'll take that line out. I don't know what it is. Okay, and I'm going to do that. I'm not going to spend any time on it just yet as far as really fluffing out what's there. Make that car a little bit taller. Bring it back. Okay, so we have a building here and we have another tree. I find it's easier just to draw what's there than to try and change it too much. Squiggle, 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 squiggle. And then we have a building. And straight up and down with the bottom of your page, so. And then at that point, you actually have a building that is short, and it only goes to the vanishing point, but it's this big. I don't know what it is, but there are two of them there. Do you have to get them perfect? No. That's obsessive compulsive. Don't worry about it. But I am going to put in, I need to put in my sidewalk so I know where to end these buildings. Oops, that's not quite it to the vanishing point. That's off. Yeah. Keep your eraser there. Don't darken anything in completely until you are ready to start shading. Then you want your values in, and if you have colors, you can add colors if you want. Also, if you have not had your parents sign the forms for your work to be shown on the computer for an art show, please do that, because I am now getting pressure to publish your work, and I cannot do it if you have not done it. Here's that tall building that really is weird looking. I wouldn't worry too much about how you do this. Just make sure you use your ruler. And then it looks like it has steps at the top because it has a big square at the top. Well, it doesn't look like a big square here, but it is. And then we have the side of that building. Okay, so that's one side of the street. And if you start putting in your buildings, windows, okay, we're going to put those in. I'm going to put these in. These are big windows. And they sort of line up with the others. Not really, but sort of. At least they made it real easy to draw. They're kind of, they're right here. They're right there. See how they're kind of weird looking? They look like they have a line, dark line underneath them. So I'll put a dark line underneath them. Except where I want my tree to show. So let me make it a little bit skinnier. Okay. And then they have a bar here that is not darkened in. So we have this dark bar. I wouldn't worry about the edge of that building. I don't know what that is because it's just sort of sticking out from the side of this other building. Let's go ahead and put a line there for it. I don't know what it is. I don't think it's a drain pipe or anything. I don't know what it is. Might be just a rounded edge. Okay. So we have that. And that. And that. Now, notice I didn't scribble over my Scribble Scrabble tree because I want my Scribble Scrabble tree to be there. Okay. And that's enough for today. If you actually do this and watch the video and do what it does, you will be fine. If you don't, you won't. Notice that I've changed little bits of it. I did not put in this awning thing because I don't know what it is. If you're not sure what it is, don't put it in. You could put in the bicycle loops. I don't care. You can put those just anywhere on the street. These are bicycle racks. And there's two of them here. And notice that the one that's further away starts higher up, even though we know from experience they're exactly the same size.
Bye.
Bye.